Hey everybody, it's Ken Compton with the Savvy Inspector. Today I'm hanging out with my good friend and old buddy and fellow Savvy coach, William Troutman. Coach William, welcome.
Hey, folks.
It's a rainy day. I'm glad we're on the inside today doing a couple of videos.
Yeah, it's been a rainy month.
You know, Coach William, I know that we teach a lot of fantastic strategies. We tell folks what they need to do. We need to tell them why they need to do it. We give them the tools to do it. But boy, getting it all done has been kind of a big problem over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think everybody, again, most home inspectors, I should say, struggle with that because we come into this business as a technician. You know, we go to school, become a good home inspector, and continue to build ourselves into great home inspectors, and that is our focus. And then we turn around one day and say, oh, look, you know, we actually have a business here. And it's a big you know, eye opener. And how do we become, you know, business owners and managers, and you know, all of the aspects that go with owning a business. We're not just home inspectors anymore. And so it's a big eye opener. It was for me, and I hear that constantly. That theme is just over and over again with Savvy members that, you know, I never dreamed that I'd be dealing with, you know, finance side of it, or just any part of the business aspect of it, because we all had these blinders on that, you know, we were home inspectors.
So you build it, you come, they did come, and now it caused a bunch of headaches, didn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, it's all kinds of things, like just getting your employee manual together if you're going to have employees, or doing employee reviews, or putting your inner circle program together to reward the agents that give you the most business, or your frequent referrer program for your prior clients. I mean, or your top producer marketing, you know, your agent marketing, lunch and learns. I mean, when you really think about everything you have to do on the marketing side, it's pretty overwhelming, and you have to add that to inspections if you still do them, and you have to add that to the financial things, accounting, you know, and wow, maybe you might want to see your family once in a while.
It is it's a juggling act, and I think everybody, just like me, when you turn around and see that you've got all these plates in the air now that you're spinning, and haphazardly, because everybody does it, you know, just, you know, take it as it comes and deal with this, deal with that, deal with the next thing, instead of having, you know, knowing ahead of time, here's what's coming up, and you've got your calendar set for it, and you can run your business on a daily planner versus being smacked in the face with every new surprise that every time you turn a corner. So
the home inspectors are reactive instead of proactive. I say they're firefighters. They're constantly putting out these fires because they're not working like a business. They're just reacting to whatever comes at them. You know, something comes in your email, now you're all taking off this way, and something comes here, now you're all taking off that way. Or, you know, your scheduler's sick, now you're doing something else. I mean, that's no way to run a business. I mean, that's no life.
Yeah, and I struggle with it now. Just what you said, you know, an email comes in and it's a complaint. We all have the tendency to drop everything else that was that we were dealing with, and now this is the most important thing. You know, life goes on. Even if we weren't here, life would go on. So we've got to be able to, you know, step back, take a breath, and put a plan together on how we're going to manage all of these different aspects of what it takes to be what we thought was just a home inspector. You know, and again, one of the early things that Ken said, I've said this in one of the last videos that we did, was, you know, the big eye opener for me was stop being a home inspector and start being a marketer of home inspection services. Wow, what a concept. And so when you start thinking that way, again, light bulbs come on, you look at things differently, you know, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Is very, very true. So, you know, so get yourself out of that mindset that you're just a home inspector writing reports. That's not true. You know, this if you want to be successful and take this to the next level, something that you can retire on someday, you've got to start thinking and acting like a business owner.
That is so true. I'm an organized person. I'm a person that doesn't like self-imposed stress. When I was in college, I would have all my papers written a week early. I would put them in my desk drawer. I'd go back a few days before they were due. I'd read them, see if I was still in love with what I wrote. And if I was, great. And if I wasn't, I tweaked it. And so what happens is I've always been a planner like that. And that's a big part of what's allowed me to be successful. Organization is one of the big keys to success. And I think what happens is that since 2006, I've been trying to teach this to home inspectors. So I've been teaching business concepts to non-business people. And so what happens is a lot of them take to it like a duck to water, no problem. But a lot of them have really struggled with that concept of planning, because, you know, I got to sit down in November and say what I'm going to be doing next November. And, you know, I just can't quite figure it out yet. Or they don't know how to use a mind map where they get in and brainstorm so you can begin with the end in mind. Or they don't know how to use a marketing plan and a marketing calendar, so that when you get up every day or the day before, you already know what you have to do the next day, so you're ready for it. It's not getting up in the morning, ooh, I need more business, what can I do? Okay, so we've worked on a lot of things. So we have mind maps that we've taught, and I think, Coach William, the mind maps, most of our people are getting it now, don't you?
Yeah. It's so easy to use and such a great way to, like, just clear your mind and be able to build from what you put down on paper. So we have a lot of awesome tools that can help even the one-man shop. You know, we're talking, I think, in terms of multi-firm here, but even the one-man shop, you know, if you one thing you didn't mention in what you said there a minute ago was performance to plan. The first time I heard that, I'm like, yeah, I've got a plan. My plan is to perform. But, you know, performance to plan, knowing what it is, what did you do last year, what are your goals for the upcoming year, so that you can, you know, have checks and balances about throughout the year about where you're at. You know, it goes back to the Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. And I don't think any of us do that. You know, when we first get into the business, it's just a way to make extra money or a way to make some money. And so we go out there and start inspecting, get hands on, and again, we're back to being just a technician. Then we wake up and say, hey, you know, all I do is inspect every day, all day long, and I'm always chasing, you know, my favorite word is squirrel. Here's another squirrel, got to go. And you know, whatever lands on our plate becomes the hottest topic and the number one concern, and we just cannot operate that way.
Yeah, you can't. So today, the mind maps, most of our clients get it. Those that don't get it, we produce mind maps for the client. They can transfer over and go from there. We ask the questions, they fill in the answers based on what they've learned at the Savvy for their own firm. And then, we've gotten a system now that we can put your marketing plan and marketing calendar on. It reminds me a lot of Pinterest. You can drop and drag the different cards on the different columns or boards, add graphics and other things there to get you more organized. But the one thing I think that was really the most daunting to the clients has been in November and December, I'm writing a whole plan for the next year, all 12 months. And I have to get that organized. I have to think what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to think what I do each month. You know, in October, what am I going to be doing? And it's November the prior year. I don't know. And that threw people off. So what we've introduced to our clients in 2017 is keep the tools, the marketing plan, marketing calendar, keep the mind map, but then add this concept. It isn't a piece of software. It isn't a computer program. It isn't anything like this. It's a concept. It's called the 90-day year. And what we do is we plan our actions for 90 days. And then we put a wish list on a list on the left is a wish list. If time and money was no issue, what would I get done? And then you drag some items over from that wish list you think you can get done in 90 days. And then you say, here's my weekly goals. Here's my weekly tasks. And did I do it or didn't I? And William, I think that the light bulbs come on a ton of people, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's very, very helpful because it is overwhelming to try to think out 12 months from now. And not that you don't need to do that, you do. You do. You need to have the concept there, but trying to break that down into smaller increments per quarter, however you want to look at that, has helped us out tremendously. And I'll share with you the other day that we brought this concept to our office staff. The 90-day year type deal, and it's just it's been very helpful for them as well. We kind of got a team concept going now, and they're working on a lot of projects together. So I'm seeing it as a great thing. I wish we'd come across it a little earlier.
We're doing so good on our other systems we teach. I didn't think you needed it, but yeah. The thing that happens is, I didn't say this in the beginning. Let's say at the beginning, at the end of 2016, I said when 2017 closes the books, and we close the books on 2017, I know how much revenue we want by product. I know how many clients we want. I want to. Here's my goal for client retention. Here's my goal for everything. Okay. So then what we did is we said, with those goals in mind, we built our wish list. If time and money were no object, boom, what would we do? And then we break those into 90-day increments. But you still know where you're going to end up, because you got to begin with the end in mind. You know where you're going to end up. What does done look like? Ken L. in our firm always says, when we get started on a project, he said, hold on, I don't have a clear vision of what done looks like. Okay, so once you clearly define what done looks like, then you can break down those pieces to get to done in small increments and then work on those. And you know what, William? When you guys accomplish a project, that feels good, doesn't it?
It does, and we're getting better at, you know, celebrating those small achievements with the office staff as well. Like I said, I alluded to a minute ago that they put some goals in place for themselves, and so, you know, when they hit those goals, we try to have a big hoorah or some kind of a pat on the back for that, because we're so bad about that. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm just really bad about it with my firm to you know, recognize those achievements, because we're always so dug in harder trying to, you know, hit that next goal, that we fail to stop and take a breath and celebrate the small achievements.
Sometimes clients will post an achievement in the TSI Engage, the Savvy Inspectors private Facebook page for clients only, and I'll say, okay, what did you give yourself? And like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, why don't you have rewards goals tied directly to achievement goals? Right. So let's say you love to fish, and we have good friends and clients who love to fish. So they achieve a big goal, give yourself a fishing trip someplace. So it really helps you draw success. But back to the 90-day year, when you get these achievements, it makes you feel good. So what happens, we leave the things you've already gotten done right in your face. So you see, wow, we've already gotten this done. It gives you excitement. It builds excitement on your team. You get more motivated to do some other things to reach done. Okay, and so that's a big thing. Now, I know that combining the mind map and combining we call them the 90-day year, and then you combine the tool that we have for your marketing plan and marketing calendar, you'll find this to be easy. But in many cases, this is going to be the first time you've heard of the 90-day year, and you will think, wow, can I learn all this at the workshop? So let me tell you what we've done. We have built a web pages on the Savvy Inspector site for participants of this event only. Okay, and what will happen is, when the event is over, you will have access to all the recordings of every breakout session that we do. So even if you didn't attend that particular breakout session, you'll have the recording. There'll be a mind map in there that corresponds with the recording that we taught from. All right, and then there'll be other resources in there that you can access, and you'll have access to all that material for a year until the next year's workshop. So what happens is, if don't worry that you can't come and learn all these things at the workshop, because, you know, it's going to be 3 days chock full of information, and it's going to be, you're going to kind of feel like you're a little bit overloaded. But we're the only home inspection education provider that provides you the follow-up and support, whether you're a member or not a member, because you invested in yourself by coming to the workshop. So you have access to that. And Coach William, I think the participants have found that to be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's such great feedback about it. And, you know, we talked about it yesterday, one of the videos that we were doing. What's so cool about it is, you know, you just said it, but to say that again is, you know, you come to the workshop, and my #1 goal this year is hiring, training, and recruiting. That's what I want to concentrate on. Well, you take that path, and you do the breakout sessions that relate to that. And so you spent your time, you concentrated on that while you were at the workshop. It's like going to a conference all about that one thing that you wanted. But then when you get home, guess what? You've got a full, complete conference all about top producers, or going direct to the public, or the importance of video marketing. I mean, this is pretty killer, man. You're not going to get this anywhere else, and I'm thrilled to be able that we're able to offer that. I think it just sets this conference apart from anything else that any inspector could go to across the country.
I couldn't agree more. We do workshops. We don't do anything else. We've always called it a workshop. That's what we do. We provide actionable content that you can take home. So, you know, it's not some pitch fest like some of these others. You know, God bless them. You know, that's their style. Our style, we're educators, and our goal is to help you achieve your dreams in the home inspection business. And our annual workshop is a way to make that happen. This is the 12th year we've done it. It gets bigger and better each year, and now with Coach William and other team that we have, Sherry and others, you get a lot more time at the workshop with us individually. You can talk to us about a variety of things, as well as all of the other people. And I'm telling you, William, you and I both know we have some very serious home inspection marketing professionals that will be at the conference. You're going to get to rub shoulders with and become friends with.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these are folks that have embraced, you know, what Ken's alluding to here is the 90-day year, but whatever you want to call it, it's being able to plan your work and then work that plan, and knowing every day when you roll out of bed, this is what I got to do today to achieve that goal that's coming out in the future. And so it's not that people plan to fail, right? They fail to plan, and I think that's just so much said in that little phrase. I'm guilty of it myself. When I first came into this, I still struggle with it. I think it's an ongoing thing to be able to, life happens, and you got to fit these things into your plan. And so if you've got some kind of a system in place to be able to do that and alter what you had going on today, so you can fit in what you got to now get done tomorrow, but still achieve the goals that you had for the month or the quarter or the year or whatever. You're just not walking around blind all the time. You have a vision, you have a plan, and you have something written in writing that you can follow on a daily basis. It's just helped me and our firm, tremendously. And could we improve on it? Absolutely. But we progressively do that every day.
I think the number one bulletproofing your business strategy is the 90-day year. I think it's the number one strategy. And the reason why it is, if you can't take time, work on your business, and plan these things out, you won't implement these other things we're teaching you. And we know for a fact that, let's say you're a one-man shop. You've got, you've been pretty good at getting revenue in. You've got a few agents that like you, some prior clients that are giving you business. But what's your life like? Do you ever have a day off? Do you answer that phone 24/7? When you're going on vacation, you're earning no money. Or you're not getting these other systems implemented to make your life better because you haven't planned it, you've just worked in your business. So you plan, okay, I'm going to work on my business today. Well, guess what? The phone rings and the agent needs an inspection. What do? You don't work on your business, you work in your business. Okay, and agents will do that to you, won't they, William? I mean, they'll call you up, oh, I got to have it today. This is the last day. It's a big deal for me. What do you do? Well, most home inspectors drop what they're doing and go do it. So we have clients that have been with us since 2006 since we opened the door. And one of them, I constantly have this discussion in November with him. He's irritated because he hasn't got anything done in his business. His life is still not his own. The circumstances lead him. He doesn't lead the circumstances. And you know what I said to him? If you don't work on your business, and this is the 90-day plan, if you don't work on your business, next year we'll have the same discussion. And we have it every year. I mean, what can you say to that? It's like the definition of marketing insanity, and that's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It doesn't happen. So using the 90-day year, and allow yourself to just baby step at a time get these things implemented in your firm, pretty quick your life becomes way better.
Yeah, and it's all aspects. It's the business, it's the marketing, it's the personal. If you have a plan, you can make sure that you get yourself sliced out into all those different categories. Again, it's running around blind if you're not doing it. So I think it's a tremendous help. It's done me and my firm a world of good to be able to, have a plan and then work that plan. So I think this is a killer strategy that folks that attend this are going to walk away feeling a whole lot better about having a grasp on their own life and where it's headed. Personal time, even, to touch on that, I think that's one thing that we completely overlook. Here are all the things that's on our plate. We got to get this done, that done, that done, and you fill up your calendar. If you're doing it right, fill up your calendar with time slots to try to get those things done. But in there somewhere, we forgot to put that, I need to sleep, or we need to, go out to dinner with the family, or have that personal time. Is so important too.
Yeah, don't work the weekend. Get yourself in a position to where you've got a nice work and a pleasure balance. So I think that's something that we should definitely do. Coach William, thanks again for being on the call today, folks. We got 125 seats available at the workshop. About 20 plus, as we made this video, have already been sold. We always have a waiting list each year. Once the seats are gone, they're gone. I can't put a hotel stretcher in there. As soon as you snag your ticket, I would encourage you to go ahead and book your hotel so we make sure we have enough rooms in the room block. The final thing, Coach William, is we have a killer early bird special going on. We're giving away an infrared camera, a website and blog, tons of stuff. So go over to the early bird special page here on the website. Just click on that, and you can learn all about that. Grab your tickets and get in for all the good prizes. Coach William, thanks again. Look forward to talking to you on the next video, sir.
Awesome.